introduce our next speaker.
There is no pride in genocide! Say it back, y'all. There is no pride in genocide! There is no pride in genocide! Hi, y'all. My name is Tanushka. I'm a DJ, artist, and activist, and I'm here with my friends, my family, my co-conspirators from Nightlife and Artist Collectives, Papi Juice and Raga. I run a party called Chaotica with Rio Bamba, and we are all frequent collaborators in queer nightlife and cultural spaces. I'm here as a queer person standing unequivocally against settler colonialism, against apartheid, against genocide, and against militarism. The death toll is now over 20,000, with over 10,000 children killed. This is about humanity. We cannot let this become a norm, and we will not be gaslit or silenced by fear tactics. As a culture worker and artist, I unapologetically am using my voice to uplift the people of Gaza who do not deserve this horrific collective punishment. I also use my voice unapologetically against Islamophobia, against anti-Palestinian sentiment, and against anti-Semitism. And I want to make very clear that speaking out against ethno-nationalism and Zionism is not anti-Semitic. I also want to give a huge shout out to so many incredible Jewish comrades and friends who have stood up against this ethnic cleansing and are calling for a ceasefire now. I also refuse the horrendous weaponization of queer symbols like the gay pride flag raised in Gaza by IDF soldiers. Absolutely not in our name. We refuse to let the LGBTQ flag be used for settler colonialism and genocide. As queer people in the US, we must rise up to say absolutely fucking not. The government of the US and President Biden, with each passing day in their support of Netanyahu, is approving the murder of Palestinians. And we say no! We say no! In our lives, in our communities, queer people at their best embody liberation. And that hope for a world where we can all be free, where we can all love who we want to love, be whoever we want to be in our bodies and across the gender spectrum. This aligns with the hopes, dreams, and humanity of Palestinian people. Zionists have used a narrative of pinkwashing to suggest that queer people wouldn't be accepted in Palestine. And we call bullshit!
Period.
Sorry.
Take your time, baby.
Yeah.
It's just really emotional, y'all. Thank you so much.
You.
There is no pride in settler colonialism. Pride only comes from true liberation. Palestine is a queer issue. To all the artists, culture workers, nightlife workers, musicians, DJs, performers who are here, we all have a role to play. As artists and culture workers in queer spaces, we think a lot about safety, about how to our people safe. And on a daily basis, we fight against transphobia and homophobia, and we create safe havens for ourselves. We must extend this to advocating for safety and freedom of Palestinians in all of their intersectional identities. In every space that we are in, we must call for liberation, for a permanent ceasefire now, and for a free Palestine. I know some of us have faced backlash. Maybe we've lost gigs or opportunities, but I want to remind you, there are more of us than there are them. If we collectively rise up and continue to use our voice, these cultural and art institutions, these venues, they can try as they may, but they cannot silence us. Without us, they have no art to show.
Period.
Okay.
They have no shows to curate.
Period.
Because we made culture. Queer people make culture. And together, as queer, trans, non-binary, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and two-spirit folks, we rise up for Palestinian freedom. Because none of us are free until we are all free.
Yes, sir. Oh, hello. New York City, make some noise! Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I did see the milk crate challenge last time. I'm not gonna do that. I just want y'all to take a look around. Really, truly, take stock of who is here. Take a look. This is our freedom. This is our community. These are the people who fight. I just had to, let me just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Even on the way here today, this entire weekend, as a lot of us may have experienced, so many people I don't fucking know, you are aware that you would die in Gaza. You are aware that they would hang you and kill you. Let me just address this for the first and the last time. We, as queer and trans people, we are hunted wherever we exist, and it must end now! We are not ashamed to be queer, and we're also not ashamed to fight for the freedom of all Palestinian family. And by the people here, we also are not afraid to fuck up these entire streets. We will never be afraid. We will never be afraid. White supremacy has taken such a toll. Colonial settlers have taken control, but no more. No more. We are sick and tired of watching innocent families, children that are literally under rubble. We are seeing parents and relatives dig out their children. What shame! Shame. If you can truly bear witness to this and still feel that people are terrorists, I pity you. Because you truly do not recognize, you do not review the foolishness of it. No life is greater than the other. A Palestinian child, a black child, an Israeli child, they are all worthy of life, of breath, and an opportunity to exist. We do not draw lines in the sand, they do.
Okay.
They do. I also want us to take a look around. Are there any queer people here? Make some noise. Now, more than ever, because we have seen how the powers have remained silent. What shame. They have all stayed silent. Congresswoman Rashida should never have been censured. What shame. We have all watched. Can you imagine being a Palestinian child going to school right now? Being a young person and watching your own relatives, your own family members be executed, be bombed in front of you, and everyone has remained silent. They are too afraid. They have put up mousetraps so that we can also be stuck. We will never be stuck. We have taken ourselves and we have freed ourselves. As queer people, we have always had to fight for freedom, and this is now our chance to free everyone around us. The queer powers in this city, notice that they're not here. Take stock.
Say it again.
Notice that the queer powers are not here fighting with us in solidarity. But they will reach out to us. They will reach out to the cultural artists come June to hop and shake ass on a motherfucking float. Fuck you. If you do not fight for us now, if you are not standing with us, and right now, you will not. We are not interested in performativity. We only want freedom. And we understand that that freedom must exist for all queer and transgender non-conforming, intersex, and two-spirit gendered individuals who are deserving and are most worthy of life.
Yes.
We have to march, but truly, I know if you're cold, honey, get warm. Okay, if you're cold, baby, we're about to do some push-ups. Because we have a mission tonight.
Yes.
We have a mission tonight. And as our siblings already shared with us, tax dollars are going to fund the eradication of innocent families. What shame. Tax dollars are going to fund missiles, warfare, destruction, while we are being destroyed in our own backyard. No more. If you are afraid or ashamed to say free Palestine, fuck you, because you do not understand. I said it. There will never be pride in genocide.
Never.
No pride in genocide. No pride in genocide. No pride in genocide. No pride in genocide. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. I said, what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. And if we don't get it, burn down. If Gaza doesn't get it, burn it down. If Gaza doesn't get it, burn it down. If we don't
each other, supporting each other. I'm gonna start Angela Davis's chant, but I'm gonna add a little remix to it for Palestine. It is our duty to fight for our freedom and the freedom of all oppressed peoples. Repeat after me. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. And the freedom of all oppressed people. And the freedom of all oppressed people. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love each other. We must love each other. And support each other. And support each other. Today I stand with you, Palestine, as a transsexual woman, non-binary person, a living testament to the inherent right of every individual to breathe, to exist, to love, and to determine their own destiny. That is our sacred and divine right as living beings, all of us. This right to self-determination is a birthright for all beings. It is unconditional. There are so many colleagues of mine, queer and trans, so many people who work in my industry who are silent, who are misguided, and who are afraid. I beg of you to stand firmly with the families and children of Palestine against the military occupation of apartheid Israel's genocidal regime. History has shown us time and time again the consequence of horror and terror when the right to freedom, safety, equality, and justice becomes conditional. We have seen the conditions of preferential freedom lead to systems of apartheid, segregation, casteism, slavery, and genocide. And we are seeing it now happen to the people of Palestine and to the people of and to the children of Congo. Free Congo! Come on. The disposal of my indigenous Taino ancestors and my indigenous African ancestors and my ancestral relatives across Turtle Island that have led to the creation of the colony of the United States of America has been justified for decades as manifest destiny, meant to secure the safety of settlers fleeing religious persecution from England to America. Make no mistake, these people deserve the freedom to practice their culture and their faith. But the Aboriginal people who lived on these lands before their arrival did not deserve to be displaced and to die for it. No one is ever less worthy of life than you are. Palestine, we love you. No one is ever less worthy of life than you are. Jews, we love you. No one is ever less worthy of life than you are. Natives across Turtle Island, north and south, no one is ever less worthy of life than you are. All tribes of Africa, we love you. No one is ever less worthy of life than you are. And we know that self-determination and freedom are not preferential by nature, and we must reject any ideology or speech that suggests otherwise. To deny or withdraw support for anyone's right to equality, peace, justice, and self-determination is to support the conditions that enable the worst of humanity. It's cruel and untrue to assert that Palestinians as a race, as a demographic of people, are against queer and trans people, to assert that these children don't deserve to live, and thus undeserving of life and freedom. Am I to believe then that my family, who may reject me, and my communities should live below the standards of equality, freedom, and self-determination because of rejection I may face as a trans individual? No! Should I believe then that other black and brown people facing oppression do not deserve justice, equality, and self-determination simply because I may not be accepted in every space in my community? No! Should the children of those who shamed me, should the children of those who shamed me for being trans, queer, or gay not deserve to live? No! If we embrace the principle that a nation should be denied existence because some of its citizens face oppression for being different, then what stance should we take toward nations like Israel that cast the entire state of Palestine and its people as unworthy of justice, equality, self-determination, home, and life on their own ancestral land? If I believe in the freedom to live by my own self-determination, I must believe in and champion this freedom for everyone, unconditionally. And failing to do so, I am no different than those who believe in the ideologies that uphold the kinds of systems and selective rights responsible for my own oppression. How can we cast ourselves and others to such cruelty? Us transsexuals, intersexuals, and queers are caretakers, parents, community organizers, freedom fighters, healers, artists, leaders. We embody a diversity of love and living as our authentic selves. We teach people to accept themselves and each other, and we demonstrate to the world that uniqueness is beautiful and inspiring. To be queer and to be trans is to stand for equality and justice for all, not preferential justice and equality, not caste systems. Do not forget, it is our vision of a world where every person is treated as equals with dignity and fairness, regardless of who they are or who they know, that got us free. It is a profound cruelty to suggest that justice, equality, and freedom are only for those who are nice to us. What kind of world is that? We, the queer and trans people living in Western nations who do not face constant bombings, cannot stay silent because we have power. Our power and freedom, any that we have at all, bears the responsibility to empower and free as many as we can with whatever we have. Especially when we live in a nation that is funding the genocide of Palestinian children using our tax dollars. Or pounds, or euros, or whatever the currency is in a nation that's funding it. Freedom is a cycle. When we fight for the freedom of others, they liberate us in the process. Love. It is love, make no mistake, that is behind that. We must embrace it and allowing it to transform all of us, because it is love that has always been the center of all movements that have led to the liberation of queer and trans people. Is a testament to our belief in the freedom to live, love, and be with the dignity of our chosen existence. This will for freedom, rooted in love, has the power to overcome resentment, prejudice, hatred, and selfish individualism of all kinds. We must not let fear, hatred, and indifference drive us to forsake our compassion and squander the power we have that we've used to free ourselves. We cannot allow anything to make us forget the power that we have, that we freed ourselves with, deserves to be used to liberate others. We We do not need to be heterosexuals to say that the massacre of almost 20,000 people is wrong and that the genocide must end. We do not need to be cisgender to stand with these children who are begging us to see them and demand an end to the system, to the systemic infanticide of Palestinian youth. We do not need to be anyone but the people of loving conscience that we truly are to know that the horrors that we have seen been reaped unto the children and families of Palestine for decades must end now. I beg you, all trans and queer people across the world, not just in